Hi students, how are you? It's Pete Posner here at Big Break English, your British English teacher. And today we're going to do some work on IELTS Speaking Part 2. Okay, and if you're interested in taking a trial lesson with me, I'm going to leave a link in the description. Also, I wanted to take the opportunity to tell you again about my ebook, okay, 12 tips for scoring higher on IELTS Writing Task 2. Okay, so follow the link in the description and you can download that free. Okay, so today's lesson, we're going to look at IELTS Speaking Part 2. Okay, and in this lesson, we're going to look at also some language. Okay, so how to use it. Okay, using it so that you don't repeat constantly the names of places. Okay, and also we're going to use there is, there are, okay, to talk about places for the first time. Okay, and when to use a or the or some or any. Okay, and the final thing we're going to look at is using where, okay, so that you can add information about a place. Okay, and by using where, you're using a complex structure, okay, so that you can gain more points for grammar range and accuracy. Okay, and also by using it in your speaking, you're going to score more for coherence and cohesion. Okay, so when you use it, you're substituting the names of places, and that makes your answer more cohesive. Okay, so you're going to score more points for cohesion. Okay, so I'm going to do the following task. Okay, describe a city you have been to. Talk for 1 to 2 minutes and consider the following questions in your answer. I'm going to talk for 2 minutes. Okay, that's better. Okay, these are the questions, and when you listen to my answer, I want you to listen for my answers to these 4 questions. I might change the order. Okay, so what is it like? What are the main attractions? When did you go there? What did you like about it? Okay, those 4 questions in any order. Okay, so I'm going to start the timer. Okay, I'm going to time 2 minutes. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'd like to talk to you about Berlin. I went to Berlin in 2013 for 10 days. This was August 2013, and it's a fantastic city. It's the capital of Germany, and it's full of culture and history. And what I really like about Berlin is it's multicultural and it's so happening. Yeah, there are really trendy bars and restaurants, for example, in the neighborhood Kreuzberg. I really love that neighborhood. Okay, and to talk a little bit about the main attractions, well, there is the East Side Gallery, where you can see colourful murals on a remaining section of the Berlin Wall. That's a cool place to go. And also there is the DDR Museum. Okay, so that is an interactive museum about what life was like in East Germany. Okay, so really educational, really interesting. And another attraction I would highlight would be we've got East Side Gallery, DDR Museum, and the other one was I forgot, Checkpoint Charlie. Yeah, so Checkpoint Charlie. Okay, it's a crossing point, or it was a crossing point between West Berlin and East Berlin. So you should go there. Go to Checkpoint Charlie, where you can see billboards warning people that they are leaving West Berlin, or they are leaving East Berlin. Okay, and you can see soldiers. They're actors, in fact. Okay, but yeah, that's my talk for you on Berlin. Okay, let's take the questions in the order that I answered them. Okay, so one question was, when did you go there? So I went there in August of 2013 for 10 days. Another question was, what's it like? Okay, and I said, Berlin is the capital of Germany. It's a fantastic city and it's full of history and culture. And another question was, what do you like about Berlin? Okay, and I said, it's so happening. Okay, happening means this is informal. It means very lively. Okay, lively, so full of life, right? A lot of things happening, right? For example, I said there are a lot of trendy bars and restaurants. Trendy means very fashionable. And also I said it's multicultural. That's what I like about it. Finally, the other question was, what are the main attractions? I mentioned three. So the first was the East Side Gallery, the second was the DDR Museum, and the third, Checkpoint Charlie. Okay, let's look at some language now. Use it to talk about something that you have already mentioned. Okay, now I'm going to play the first part of my talk again. Okay, and I want you to listen and read the transcript. What does it refer back to? Okay, you can see I highlighted it in bold. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. Okay, so I'd like to talk to you about Berlin. I went to Berlin in 2013 for 10 days. This was August 2013, and it's a fantastic city. It's the capital of Germany, and it's full of culture and history. And what I really like about Berlin is it's multicultural and it's so happening. Yeah, there are really. So, how did you go? With your partner or think on your own, if you're on your own, for a minute? What does it refer back to? Okay, pause the video and then we will look at it together. Okay, how did you do? So, let's have a look. Here we have, let's look at it together. Okay, so I'd like to talk to you about Berlin. I went to Berlin in 2013 for 10 days. This was August 2013, and it's a fantastic city. It refers back to Berlin. Okay. It's the capital of Germany. Again, it refers back to Berlin. Berlin is the capital of Germany. It's the capital of Germany. And it's full of history, culture, and history. Again, Berlin is full of culture and history. It refers back to Berlin. And that happens throughout this first part, right? And what I really like about Berlin is it's multicultural. Berlin is multicultural. It refers back to Berlin. Okay? It's so happening, right? Berlin is so happening. Okay, let's practice using it. Okay, so read the description of Salisbury. Replace 3 words with it. Okay, I'm going to give you 3 minutes. Okay, pause the video, do that, and we're going to check together. Okay? Okay, how did you do? So, let's read it together. Okay, so listen and I'll read it to you. Salisbury is a small city in the southwest of England. Salisbury has a world-famous cathedral, Salisbury Cathedral. Okay, just up to there, can you see what we can replace with it? Here, right? We can say, so Salisbury is a small city in the southwest of England. and then it has a world famous cathedral, Salisbury Cathedral, which has a very tall spire. In fact, Salisbury Cathedral has the tallest spire in the UK. What can we replace there with it? Did you get it? Salisbury Cathedral. Right. So it here has the tallest spire. It refers back to Salisbury Cathedral. In the same way, it has a world famous cathedral. It refers back to Salisbury. Okay, let's continue. Just outside of Salisbury, you can visit Stonehenge. Stonehenge is a prehistoric monument consisting of a ring of large standing stones. What can you replace with it? Stonehenge, right? So you can visit Stonehenge. It, okay, so it refers back to what? To Stonehenge. Okay, it is a prehistoric monument consisting of a ring of large standing stones. Okay, now let's focus on the use of there and the. Okay, notice the use of there and the in bold. Okay, here, here, here. What are they used for? Okay, just listen to those parts. Where is it? Here we go. Yeah, there are really trendy bars and restaurants, for example, in the neighborhood Kreuzberg. I really love that neighborhood. Okay, and to talk a little bit about the main attractions, well, there is the East Side Gallery, where you can see colourful murals on a remaining section of. Okay, any ideas? Let's take a look together. Okay, so read the extract from my talk below, then complete 1 and 2 with the or there. Okay, so read this extract and then complete these 2 sentences with the or there. Okay, pause the video, take 3 minutes, and we'll check together. Okay, how did you do? So, okay, so is the DDR Museum. Okay, right, so use the with the names of museums and galleries. For example, the East Side Gallery. Okay, and use there to talk about a thing for the first time. Okay, for example, here we had there is the DDR Museum. Okay, and then I talked a little bit more about that. So that is an interactive museum about what life was like in East Germany. Okay, but the first time I talked about it, I used there is. Okay, also notice that I used sometimes there are, sometimes there is. Okay, and when I said there are really trendy bars, also I could say there are some really trendy bars. Okay, so question here is, when do I use there is? When do I use there are? When do I use some? When do I use a? When do I use any? Okay. Okay, so when it's positive, affirmative, okay, then we use there is for singular. Okay, and when it's singular, we use the indefinite article a. Okay, so there is a palace. There you go, in Berlin, right, there is a palace. Okay, when it's plural, affirmative, so there are. And here we can just say there are trendy bars. So remember the plural S. Or we can say there are some trendy bars. Okay. When it's negative, then we say there isn't, so there is not, or there isn't. Yeah. Often in speaking, use the contraction. Yeah? There isn't a castle. Okay, so again, it's a castle, singular. Okay. Then plural, we have, just move that out of the way. Okay, we have negative, there aren't. Okay, there are not, aren't. Contraction, there aren't any big rock festivals. Okay, so again, this is for plural, so remember the S. And here, if it's negative and plural, then use any. Okay, there aren't any rock festivals. Okay, a little bit of practice for you. Make sentences. Okay, so you have to fill in these blanks with these 4 words. Okay, so take 3 minutes to do this and then we'll check together. Okay, how did you do? Number 1. There are good souvenir shops near Salisbury Cathedral. So that's affirmative, positive. It's plural shops. Okay, so there are some. There are some good souvenir shops near Salisbury Cathedral. Okay, 2. Is a library by the market square where you can borrow books? Okay, so it's there is a library by the market square. That's the first time we talked about this library. So there is a library by the market square where you can buy books. And 3, Pool Gallery has modern art and cool photography. It's a gallery. Okay, so it's the Pool Gallery has modern art and cool photography. Remember, with galleries and museums, usually we use the. Okay, so the Pool Gallery. Okay. And, did I miss one? Okay, we have here, okay, number 4. In Salisbury, there aren't buses after midnight. Okay, buses plural, and it's negative. There aren't, so there aren't any. So remember, when it's negative and plural, use any. When it's affirmative and plural, use some. Okay. Okay, we have a few more. So the same thing. Yeah, take 3 minutes to fill in these gaps to make sentences with these 4 words. Okay, pause the video, 3 minutes, off you go. Okay, how did you do? So number 1, there aren't really big nightclubs in Salisbury, plural, negative, right? There aren't, so there aren't any really big nightclubs in Salisbury. 2, there isn't university in Salisbury. That's singular. Okay, so there isn't a university in Salisbury. Number 3, at Jewish Museum you can explore 2 millennia of German Jewish history. Jewish Museum is a museum. Okay, so at the Jewish Museum. And 4 is a long history of migration into Berlin, for example, in the 60s and 70s. Okay, so there is a long history of migration into Berlin. It's the first time we talked about this long history of migration. And then after that, we can continue to give some more information. Okay. Okay, the other thing to notice is how to use where to give more information about a place. Okay, here are some examples from my talk. Well, there is the East Side Gallery where you can see colourful murals on a remaining section of the Berlin Wall. And this one, go to Checkpoint Charlie, where you can see billboards warning people that they are leaving West Berlin. Okay, so here the places in the first one is the East Side Gallery. Okay, so then place, then comma, right? Then where? Okay, and then we can give some more information about that place. So in this case, where you can see colourful murals on a remaining section of the Berlin Wall. And the second one, the place was Checkpoint Charlie, right? So again, comma, okay, then where, okay, and then more information about the place, Checkpoint Charlie. Okay, so where you can see billboards warning people that they are leaving West Berlin. Okay, so now let's do a little bit of practice doing that. Okay, so make two sentences into one using where. Example. First sentence. There is the East Side Gallery. That's one sentence. Another sentence is, at the East Side Gallery, you can see colourful murals. Okay, so now make two sentences into one. So here is one sentence. There is the East Side Gallery, comma, where you can see colourful murals. Okay, so do the same for 1 and 2. Okay, pause the video, take 3 minutes, and then we will check together. Okay, how did you do? So, number 1, there is Salisbury Cathedral. At Salisbury Cathedral, you will see the tallest spire in the UK. Okay, so we have, there is Salisbury Cathedral, I'll just write SC, comma, okay, where you will see the tallest spire in the UK. Okay, and number 2. There is the DDR Museum. That's the first sentence. The second sentence, at this museum you will learn about life in East Germany during the Cold War. So again, put them into one sentence with comma and then where. Okay, so we have, there is the DDR Museum, comma, where you will learn about East Germany during the Cold War. Okay, there's the DDR Museum, where you will learn about East Germany during the Cold War. Okay. Okay guys, it's your turn then to try this task. Okay, so just to remind you of the task one more time, describe a city you have been to, talk for 1 to 2 minutes. As I said before, I recommend 2 minutes, and consider the following questions in your answer. What is it like? When did you go there? What are the main attractions? What did you like about it? Okay, and in your talk, try to practice using the language that we looked at today. Okay, so make sure you use correctly determiners, or the, right, some, any. Also, try to use it, okay, so that you don't repeat the place name. For example, do you remember we had I went to Berlin. Berlin is the capital, or it is the capital. Yeah, so use it to substitute the place name. And the other thing is, try to use where in your answer to add more information about places. Okay. And also I recommend recording your answer so that you can play your answer back to you, right? Play your answer back to yourself and then check if you did those things correctly. Okay. Okay guys, so that's it for today. So if you enjoyed this lesson, remember to share the video, and also remember you can book a trial lesson with me if you follow the link in the description of this video. And also remember to follow the link to download my ebook on 12 tips for scoring higher on IELTS writing task 2 if you haven't already. Okay, and I'll see you next time.